Nightingales Medical Trust is a not-for-profit organization working for the welfare of senior citizens since 1998. Nightingales Medical Trust runs several programs for elders belonging to all socio-economic groups. The major projects include 3 residential care centers for elders with dementia, 2 destitute homes for elderly, a national helpline for senior citizens, enrichment and active aging programs for senior citizens, and facilitation of skills training and post-retirement employment for seniors. Nightingales Medical Trust is also recognized as a regional resource training center by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. One of the mandates is to create awareness about issues faced by elders. To take this mandate forward, the Trust, in collaboration with National Institute of Social Defense, an autonomous body under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, is organizing a series of webinars on topics of interest for senior citizens. National Institute of Social Defense is a center of excellence and nodal training and research institute in the field of social defense. Nightingales Medical Trust and NISD have collaborated to organize today's webinars to create awareness about nutrition for the elders. The resource person for today's webinar is Srimati Deepika Vasudaven. She is a registered dietitian. She has finished her MSc in Clinical and Sports Nutrition. She is a diabetics educator, a Fit India brand ambassador, and Deepika also runs her own consultation called NutriFuel. NutriFuel is a leading private nutrition clinic specializing in diabetes education, weight management, dance nutrition, gut health, sports nutrition, along with pre and post natal nutrition, and much more. So here's welcoming Deepika Vasudevan to our webinar this evening. Over to you, Deepika. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful introduction. So, hi everyone, I'm Deepika here. Let me start with the presentation and whatever doubts and discussions we will have it once I finish the presentation. So because what happens is I won't be able to cover everything. It's a very huge chunk. If I would keep talking, I can keep talking for hours together. So I'm going to do a very brief and practical session, and we will keep a bigger discussion at the end of the presentation. So let me share the screen with you all.
I think the others, please mute yourself so that you can hear better and there won't be any disturbance. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So nutrition for aging gracefully. So all these years we have been working, we have been taking care of children, we are doing everything possible.
Excuse me, please mute yourself, madam. Sorry, Deepika.
Yeah. Ma'am, you have an option to mute others, and then you
Yes.
can unmute few people.
I'll mute all, yes. Then I can give it open, maybe leave it open for question answers. Now I'll mute all. You continue.
So we have been spending all...
Sorry, Deepika, you can unmute yourself and speak. I've muted all.
You can hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. So all these years we have been working, taking care of others, our children, grandchildren, everything. So in between, at times when our strength and stamina is little lower, then we think, now I have to take care of myself. So now that we have got the time, let's work on the nutrition part, and let's feel little more better. So when I say age gracefully, it doesn't mean that with all this nutrition everything, we won't be able to get back to our 30s or 40s. But what we can do is we can live in a better lifestyle, and take care of our nutrition. We can make sure that the next few years is we can live our best life mentally as well as physically. So let me start over the presentation. And what we are going to talk today is about common deficiencies. So in each stage of life, we have some nutrients which we need more, and we will have quite a few deficiencies throughout the life. At this point, with elders, we have few kind of deficiencies. So let's know what are those deficiencies and how to tackle them. Then I would say there is just one small thing you will have to work from the nutrition perspective, which makes a huge difference in your health. And apart from that, we're going to talk about how to plan the meals. So either you might have a help to have cook, or you might still be cooking by all yourself. So we will be talking about how practical it is to combine all this nutrition tips and fulfill this nutrition and our body, nourish our body best with each and single meal. And then we're going to talk about the importance of exercise. Can I start now? Then yeah, fine. So, at this stage, we have a lot of common deficiency. One is protein. What happens is, once we start declining into our age, we will have some issues like bloating, gastric, acidity, and some of the other issues will happen, and we tend to miss out this major food group, that is protein, whether it could be your dal or this rajma and all. Digestion is not happening, something is happening, I'm not comfortable eating this. Or curd we stop because it's too much of phlegm, especially in winter. Many people stop having curd because they feel you're going to have mucus or phlegm, cold. So this one food group, protein group, most of us start missing out after the age of 40. So we're going to talk about why protein is so important at this stage and how it can actually drastically improve your health. Apart from that, other nutrients like your vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, riboflavin, these are all nutrients, no, that is vital to our health, because as and when we start growing a little older, our cell growth is way lower than the cell death. So more cell death happens, the cell starts deteriorating more rapidly than the amount of cells which is growing, which is being born. So that's a reason the more we go older, the more is your nutrition importance. When we say the first 10 to 15 years of a child is very important, we nourish the child, we give the child the best nutrients possible, right? So the same thing happens during the older age group also. We are supposed to be having more nutrients how we used to have during the young age, like when you were a child. Apart from that, the major concern here is bone. So all the nutrients which is related to bone, right, your calcium, potassium, magnesium, vitamin D, everything is rapidly deteriorating. You will have a deficiency. Most of them, we have seen that they have vitamin D deficiency. Even if you go out in sun, also what happens is, because of the skin or so many other factors, the vitamin D is not absorbed. And also, many people are not able to absorb that much vitamin D because inside, no, their gut is not healthy. Because of all those reasons, we'll have to take some supplementation. So we can talk about all of those things in the upcoming presentation. So first, I'm going to talk about this major nutrient called protein. Why we need more protein compared to younger adults? So from the age around 20 to 40, no, all we require is just about 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per kg body weight. Example, I'm 58 kgs, so I only require 58. Like even 55 to 60 grams of protein is more than enough to keep me healthy and keep my muscle mass, everything perfect. My immunity will be pretty good with just that amount of protein. But as and when we start aging, our body requires more protein. So I told, right, at this point, the cell growth is way lower than most cell death. Because of that, to stop that and create a balance, the amount of cell growth and the amount of cell death, at least to create a balance, we can't increase. So that is the hallmark of aging, right? We can't increase cell growth. At least to balance that equilibrium, we need more protein. And protein is very important for immunity. Just by drinking some lemon juice or eating something, your immunity is not going to improve if you do not eat protein rich foods in every meal. So that is one important factor. The next one is, we say, pH. Some of you would have heard, this alkaline water, keeping your body in alkaline way. If you have been following most of these Sadhgurus or people, they always say you should keep your body in alkaline state, or have this particular drink, or follow some alkaline diet, all those things, right? So this keeping a body in a proper pH, in most alkaline state than the acidic state, will reduce drastically a lot of infection and other diseases. That's the reason we say you need to maintain the proper pH. That will happen if your diet is just well balanced. You don't need to do any fancy jeera water, this water, that water. No extra efforts are needed. So just a good well balanced diet which has protein in all the meals, right? That's more than enough to maintain a proper pH of your body. Apart from that, having a protein rich meal in every meal, right, is very important, because that is what is going to help you to control your blood sugar levels. So if you directly go to a doctor, if you have diabetes, the doctor is going to say cut down the rice or eat brown rice. So fiber, the whole concept, where if you include just 1 cup of protein, it could be your simple cup of dal and curd, a simple cup of rajma or lobia, or if you're a non-vegetarian, including chicken once in a while, or any meat, will make a huge impact in your blood sugar levels. Okay, so we can do this discussion of how to balance the blood sugar level also, if anyone have got queries. Most of you will have a dietitian. If someone has diabetes, you would be consulting a dietitian, but I can throw a little more light on this topic of balancing blood sugar level. Because if you have diabetes, many people think you shouldn't be eating fruits, or no sweets at all. So we say it's okay to eat sweets once in a while, but make sure you have this good well balanced diet. So when you eat a sweet with a good well balanced diet, when you have a good amount of protein and good amount of vegetables in the diet, right? So even if you eat a sweet, it's really not going to impact so much on your blood sugar level. You won't have that impact of eating a sweet. So I can throw more light on it a bit later. So protein is also important in transporting and storing nutrients. Um,
1 minute,
yeah.
Mr. Khurshid, can you please mute yourself? There's a lot of disturbance from that end. Thank you. Continue, Deepika.
Yeah. So, at this age, once we hit 30s and 40s, to feel better, or the doctors would always prescribe this multivitamin supplementation. Some of you might be taking some multivitamin supplementation. Do you think that is actually benefited if is whatever the supplement you take, or you eat one fruit or vegetable in a day? Do you think there is a full benefit of it, whatever you're consuming? Not really. If your diet does not have enough protein, what happens? Whatever the supplement you take, it just goes to your liver and creates more toxicity. It becomes more poisonic. Or if you simply eat fruits and vegetables, thinking it's going to really benefit, not really. Why? Because if protein is not there, whatever you're eating, protein is like the van, the transporter. there is a factory, there is consumers, right? So you need this transport from the factory, it has to reach the consumer. If that does not happen, whatever the factory is producing, it's useless, the consumer is not receiving. Same way, the factory is what you're eating, consumer is your every single cell in your body. So if you're not having protein, there is no transport chain here. So whatever you're eating is just being excreted out without reaching to the cells. So you might feel, have been eating multivitamin supplements, I've been eating one orange a day, one kiwi a day, but I'm not seeing any results. There's no change in my immunity.
Mr. Khurshid, please mute yourself, please. There's a lot of disturbance. Thank you.
Okay. So we need this protein here. So I will be telling what are the foods rich in protein a bit later. Okay. So it could be a simple cup of dal, curd, all your legumes, like all the dals, all these pulses like rajma, lobia, kala chana, chickpeas, the normal white chana. All of these contain protein in it, and of course the meat and eggs. So apart from that, at this age, what happens is our muscle is losing more. We are losing more muscles. So the more muscles you're losing, you're giving space for the fat to accumulate. So the more fat is being accumulated, what happens is there is higher probability, higher you're prone to have more of this imbalanced blood sugar level, diabetes, cardiac issues, and all heart issues. So that's the reason a good well balanced diet is very important. If you skip one food group because of some or the other reason, the entire body system is going to change. Your metabolic rate is going to change. That will create other problems like any other medical issues. So we spoke about protein. We definitely eat a lot of carbs. There'll be rice or chapati in our meal, no matter what. So I'm not going to talk about the carbs. So I'm going to directly leap into the micronutrients. That is your vitamins and minerals. These are one more very, very important thing. So these are the ones. Most of them have not. I have been seeing most of them do not consume enough vegetables. Many people do not eat fruits because of some or the other reason. Some feel having orange is going to create a more cold to the body, or you start removing many fruits and vegetables out of the diet, right? So each fruit and vegetable has got a lot of nutrients. So if you're missing out to those things, there'll be an impact. Why micronutrients are so important is it's going to be maintaining our health. As I told, you will have to balance out the cell growth and cell deterioration, cell deaths. So the more cell deaths happen, the aging happens more rapidly. So there are few people whom you would have seen. They don't even look like 60 or 70. They are still so fit and healthy because they're eating well. They are managing all their nutrients well, and they are working out, or they're just active throughout the day. So because of that, I just saw a few people here. They have been pretty, so energetic. That's because guys are eating a good amount of nutritious food. So eating a good amount of fruits and vegetables will help you to maintain your health. Also your immunity. So having a good amount of these nutrients is definitely going to have a huge impact on your immunity, and it terminates cancer. So I have to tell you one important thing. Every single day our body is fighting against a lot of bacteria, virus, and every single day the body is fighting against cancer also. And that's the reason only certain amount of people have cancer, and certain people who are eating well do not have cancer. This cancer, there's about 20 to 30% factor because of genetics. Apart from the genetics, your whole lifestyle, right? If your lifestyle is so healthy, if your parents or one of your parent or had a cancer, the probability for us to get cancer is way too lesser if our lifestyle is healthy, if you are maintaining a good amount of nutrition. That has been proven. There are many people whose parents have suffered because of cancer, which is not like this alcohol related or not. They have suffered because of some genetic changes, but the children are pretty fit and healthy because they have been cautious and they have maintained their lifestyle well. So some of you might think, I have already spent so many years eating whatever I want. Now, if I eat all of these things, if I manage my nutrition well, do I really see changes? Yes. In fact, if I am changing my nutrition or diet, I will see some changes in a month's time. My strength and stamina changes after a point, like after a month or 40 days, I see some changes. But when an elderly person changes their diet and nutrition, they start seeing results more sooner. Your body is going to be reacting to whatever food you're taking, because the body is quite sensitive at this point. So it is your choice. It's in, you have the option whether you can deteriorate it a little more or you want to improve it. So if you make a good choice even now, you're going to see a drastic improvement than the younger people. So that's the reason this is, everything comes with a boon, right? So even old age comes with a boon. So even at this point, you can age like a fine wine. Many people say, no, they're aging like a fine wine. They look really better even with age. That can happen even at this point. So if you feel, anyway, so many years has gone by now, always there's an you can always do it now. So apart from that, micronutrients have been talking, right? It's all been coming from your green leafy vegetables, fruits and vegetables. So it has a lot of other things. As I told, it maintains the cell death and growth. It increases the cell growth and tries to maintain the cell death balance with the growth. Apart from that, accelerates healing and recovery. Once we start healing, once we start aging, what happens is we feel, if something happens, if we are straining a lot in one day, we take 3-4 days to recover. We feel there's a lot of body pain. If you go out for something and come, or if there's a function you have to be involved a lot and come back, next 3-4 days will be very tired. So that can be accelerated. You can start recovering more sooner. Maybe a night's sleep, next day morning you can be way too fresh than before. Also, it accelerates healing and recovery. If you have undergone any surgery or something, a good amount of nutrition can make you feel way much better sooner than people who are not following a good nutritious diet. So apart from that, I have told you, it nurtures your vision, skin growth, and cell growth. It lowers stress also. Yeah, I'm talking here about the body stress and mental stress. A lot of nutrients here, if you take a good well balanced diet, right, it does have an impact on your depression, stress. If you're stressed about something, if you're feeling lonely, depressed, or so many reasons, right, it has a good impact on your mental health as well as physical health. If you're stressed because of going out or something and coming back, that physical stress also, it will reduce drastically. So that's the reason fruits and vegetables is very vital. So please make sure you have one seasonal fruit a day. Most of them will stick to only bananas as a fruit, not that. So get a variety of fruits. Instead of buying 1 kg of apple, what you can do is, if you're a family of 2 or 4, you just get small amount of apple, orange, like that, a mixed fruit. So when it's on your table, definitely you end up using it, right? So you plan your grocery accordingly. Once in 3 days or once a week, you get a variety of fruits for one portion, and you can have it like one fruit a day. So it could be one day orange, one day it could be sapota, one day it could be banana, that way. Um, so I told you there is one thing which has a huge impact on your healthier life. So if you follow this one thing, it's gonna make a lot of difference. That is nothing but working on the gut health. So what is this gut? Gut is nothing but from our mouth till the large intestine, the entire digestive tract, right? That we call it the gut health. now of late this gut health has become very popular. Why? Because many scientists, everyone has understood that this entire gut is made up of billions and billions of bacteria, and these bacteria is the crucial, it plays the most crucial role in our health, whether to control a cancer, to following your, maintaining your blood sugar level, your mood swings, everything. These bacteria has been controlled. So all these, before we used to think there is something called hormones, which is a chemical substances, or are things which used to control our health. But now we have clearly understood the role of the bacteria in our gut. So what do you have to do? You will have to simply give good foods to that gut health, bacteria in your gut. Simple. So if you keep them happy, those bacteria will keep you healthy and happy. Just a simple formula. So how do we work? First, you should know whether is there any problem with your gut or not, right? So first, let's know. Let's find if there is any problem with our gut. Okay, so how do we know that? Is our gut really healthy? First, how do we get to know? It's through our poop. Poop is nothing but the motion what we pass in the morning, right? So, as for few people, it happens 2-3 times in a day also. The moment they eat, after within some time or within an hour, they want to, go to the bathroom. Even that is fine. For some people, once in 3 days or once in 3 to 4 days, you might poop, or one alternate days you might go to the bathroom. Even that is still fine. So there is no hard and fast rule. And but ideal is 1 or 2 times in every day is way much better. And then you get to know, seeing how your poop itself, you most of you will have the instinct whether your health is good or not, right? So if you have loose motions and all, definitely some food has gone inside and messed it up. If you have constipation, it means simple three things: you're not eating enough fiber, you might not be drinking enough water, or there is no enough food, you're not eating enough food. That's the reason you're having constipation. Many people miss that out. Fiber is one thing. There's not much vegetables, or only rice is happening, or only chapatis are happening. Still, the fiber won't be enough. That could be the reason. Water could be the reason, or you're simply not eating enough food, and that could be the reason why you're constipated. If you're giving so little food to the body, definitely the body needs to give food to others, right? So it's going to have very hard time coming out, because you're not giving enough nourishment to the body. So that's one thing. Every time if you pass, or you have very painful stomach pain, gas issues, bloating, if it's painful, then it is, there is a problem with your gut. Passing gas or bloating is very common. Especially bloating happens if you're eating a lot of vegetables and lesser meat, or if you're a vegetarian kind of diet, if you're not even including much milk products, bloating is common. It is absolutely healthy, shouldn't be a problem. But if it is painful, even farting, that is, releasing gas, is still absolutely healthy. So that will not be a sign of thing. But only if it is painful, even if there is a smell, shouldn't be a problem. It is your gut will be still healthy. Okay, so that is one hallmark to find out if your gut is healthy. If people who are finding hard time, they are having constipation, or it's very painful after passing the motion, there's kind of uneasiness, or there is some pain, right? So if you have those things, try taking curd which is made at home. Try making curd always at home, or get this probiotic curd. That is important. This curd has a lot of good bacteria in it, which makes a lot of changes in our health. That's the reason we say curd. And also there is one myth, having curd is going to increase cough or mucus. Not really. Having milk will increase your mucus or cold or cough, but making a curd at home, home-set curd, will never cause any issues usually, until you have a lactose intolerance that your doctor would have confirmed. If you have any lactose intolerance, they'll ask you to avoid milk but many people who have lactose intolerant can also have curd. Apart from that, sweet potatoes, legumes like your rajma, your lobia, channa, kala channa, chickpeas, all of those things. Banana. Whether you have loose motion, have banana. Whether you have constipation, have banana. See this banana and apple, no matter whether you have loose motion or constipation, this is going to be a good medicine. So after eating this like two bananas or one full apple, you'll definitely see a lot of changes. So but you will have to continue eating these regularly to see good changes. Apart from that, avocado. So avocado has good amount of fat. So even uh, pe- uh, that hard poop, right? Constipation might be because you're eating way too less fat, or your fat is not digested. Because of that, you might have a tough time. So eating good fats like avocado or even peanut, making peanut chutney, those kind will make a huge difference in your gut health, and also you will see changes in your constipation. So the next criteria is also for few people, they don't feel hungry at all in the morning. 8 hours, some 8 to 9 hours, you might be not having any food. You would have slept, you might have had food at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the night. Morning, even at 10 o'clock, you're not at all hungry, right? So that also is one of the reason your gut might not be in a good position. So not feeling hungry in the morning, whether it's out of habit or thing, it means even if it's out of habit, generally it means that we are making our gut unhealthy. So that also shows that not just gut being unhealthy, your blood sugar level is not balanced. There's a lot of stress in your body. Thyroid might not be functioning well. The liver is not functioning well. It's kind of, little lazy. It doesn't want to work that much. So whatever you're eating might be just passed out without, utilizing. The body is not utilizing those nutrients. So these could be the other reasons why morning, if you're not hungry throughout the day, you're just preoccupied with some other thing and you don't feel hunger. You, I would say, even at 80 or 85, feeling hungry 2 to 3 times a day is really needed. Okay, so out of habit or out of thing, if you have stopped down your meals, try to take little bit meals. Try to keep an alarm and take small meals, at least 2 to 3 times before before 8 o'clock. That makes a good amount of changes in your overall health. So if you have any contradicting factor or something, we can still discuss about this. So apart from that, there's a lot of stress, anxiety, that could be the reason. So what's the formula then? Simple. All you have to eat is good amount of fruits, like just one fruit a day. You don't need to overdo. One fruit a day and good amount of vegetables in your lunch and dinner. Your There should be at least 1 cup of vegetables in your lunch and dinner. Okay, so whenever possible, try to make varieties. One day you can soak kala chana, one day you can soak lobia, one day you can simply have dal with 1 cup of curd. In the protein and legumes part I'm talking about here. One day what you can do is, you can, if you're non-vegetarian, you can have non-veg also once or twice a week or even thrice a week. It's still fine. And so varieties, one day horse gram you can have, one day you can have moong. That way each day you soak in the night, plan, write it out and put it on the fridge and plan, so that you finish soaking in the night itself and you can have these varieties of legumes. So if anyone is facing bloating issues or thing, we will discuss how to tackle bloating and all. If you eat particular food and you feel uncomfortable, gastric, all of this, because the gut is not healthy. So gastric issues, acidity, bloating, eating something. Today I had a client, I spoke to one person. They are just 30. Okay, so they had like they gave me one big set list. I can't eat this, I can't eat this, I can't eat pomegranate, I can't eat sapota. I said, why? Because it's causing me gastric, it's causing me bloating. So it means that the gut is not healthy. The entire digestive tract has lost a lot of good bacteria. So because of that, your gut is not healthy. So it doesn't mean you have to eliminate all of these food because you're not feeling well. What you have to do is you have to start using those foods which you're not feeling, like example rajma, they don't they feel uncomfortable. So I said in that case, what you do, nicely soak the rajma in hot water, remove the water, and then use a small quantity. Start putting rajma in your diet once a week. Eat a small quantity. Slowly start decreasing. Then you will find difference. Like this, we have made a lot of people do. And then what they thought is people they thought few foods they can never eat in life. Those foods also they could eat back happily and enjoying. So it's just that you have to introduce that good bacteria. So we can talk about this also if anyone is interested. So I've been talking about one thing. One is that you should be eating good amount of fruits and vegetables, legumes, for better gut health. If you nourish your bacteria inside your gut, the bacteria will make you healthy and will keep you also happy that way. So they usually say, no, if you make your wife happy, the whole house will be happy. If you make your mom happy, the whole house will be peaceful and happy. The same way. So you just have to keep your bacteria and your good bacteria, I meant, in the gut happy and healthy. So there is other two things. One is prebiotics and probiotics. Some of you might have heard. Prebiotics is nothing. It's a good food for the good bacteria. This prebiotics is food for the bacteria. Probiotics is introducing good bacteria into your gut. So then what exactly do we eat? So we eat something called this onion raita. Most of the time, right? Onion raita, carrot raita. So just a cup of curd and we chop onions, cucumber, like that, and we eat. So that is the best way to introduce and change your gut health. So including curd in most of your day's meal. If someone asked me to give a diet plan, no, I would give 1 cup of curd almost every day. Not every day, but almost every day I would give 1 cup of curd made at home. Even I have seen a huge change in my health post my delivery very sooner because of introducing these good foods. So, eating dates, some 3, 4 dates, even if you have blood sugar levels, if you have diabetes, also you can eat dates. It's not going to impact your sugar levels at all. Maybe about just 4 to 5 dates in a day will be good enough. Include raw onion. The cooked onion is almost of no benefit. I'm talking about raw onion here. And having oats. Again, oats. Preferably this overnight oats, we say. You just have to soak the oats in the milk or curd overnight, put it in a cool place or in fridge. Do not cook it. Next day morning add fruits and all and have it. Like overnight rice, some people will know. These farmers know leftover rice, they soak it in water. Next day morning they add curd, little bit of onions and chilies and eat. So that is also very, very good for health and gut. So going back to the roots is also very helpful. Green banana. In South India, we usually cook a lot of this green banana and eat. I'm not sure about other cuisines. In Nepal, those kinds of places, they use a lot of green banana, Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Uttarakhand and all. So this is also one of the very nutritious food. Again, apple, even bread toast is still fine. You just have to make sure it's a whole wheat bread, using garlic, a lot of green leafy vegetables, and again legumes like rajma, chole, and all of this. And probiotics, the food which will give you good bacteria into the gut. So there's something called kombucha drink. It usually we don't have it much here, but you can find out having curd, kombucha, or kimchi, or the simple thing what we make is pickles, right? The pickles which is just made up of salt and water, not the oil version of it. You simply dip the vegetables, cut vegetables in salt water with vinegar and eat, right? Those kind of pickles are very healthy, not the oil, spices, all of those things. I told about keeping your immunity well and all of those things. Right? Simple. How do I include? Like, I'm so confused. What vegetables should I eat? Simple thing. You follow something called rainbow. In most of the schools, nursery, they have this concept. The child should be bringing fruits of one color each day. They do this rainbow week. Same way, you keep Monday vibgyor, right? Violet, something like a brinjal and grapes. Tuesday, like garlic rich food. That way, every day we can introduce one color. One for red, you can have lot of tomatoes, capsicum, pomegranate, all of those things. For orange, and yellow pumpkin. For green, lot of leafy vegetables, kiwi. Those kind you can introduce every day. So each color you keep for one day and introduce those color fruits and vegetables for that day. No, that will make sure that all your nutrients for the week is fulfilled. Every day you can't fulfill all the nutrients, but following this rainbow week, right, will make a huge impact on your thing. So that's how we do. I have put one simple plan. So whenever I go for grocery thing, I do only once a week. I buy all the fruits and vegetables so that I don't miss anything. So in my cart, I make sure that all the colors are there, all the fruits and vegetables in that cart is there. Okay, I go for a very local mandi, no supermarket, no fancy kiwis and all. Mine is a very simple, whatever is locally seasonally available, that's what I use. So this is how I follow a diet. So when I say you have to follow a good, well-balanced diet, how should it look? There should be, so just imagine this is the plate. There should be one part of whole grains. That could be your rice. It could be preferably brown rice. If not, even white rice is fine. Rice or chapati or any millets. Those is one small part. Show you can divide your plate into four parts. One part is this. Next part is legumes. Not just legumes, it could be even a cup of curd or non-veg also. That could be one part. One part is vegetables. So what I would say is for all your meals, lunch and dinner, let half of your plate be covered with vegetables. Fruit you take as a snack in the morning. Okay, so this is how a plate should look like. There is one cup of dal, there's a lot of vegetables, there's two chapatis. In this chapatis, there can be a cup of rice also. Here, either you use a cup of curd or one cup of thick buttermilk. Okay, the curd should be made at home. So this way, and there should be water. So many people do not have the habit of drinking water with the meals. So please make sure you start the meal and in between you have at least half a cup of water, and at the end you finish another half cup. At least have 1 cup during the meal and after the meal. Okay. And nutrition is just not one thing which will have to maintain. You will have to be active throughout the day, because what happens is just eating is not going to help. You will have to spend it out. I'm not saying you will have to exercise, you will have to do yoga and all of those things. No, simple. Just be active throughout the day. Do run behind your grandchildren, or what you can do is you can keep walking throughout the day whenever possible. Do that small house chores. That way also can be active. Many people don't like this thing, but having a watch, no, very simple watch which tracks your footsteps. If you could cover 8,000 to 10,000 footsteps a day, it's perfect. It's you don't have to run also. Just 8,000 to 10,000 footsteps in a day, being active throughout the day, will be more than enough to keep your health at peak. So being active throughout the day, what happens is you're occupied, so you do not have unwanted things right? And also it will increase your hormones. These three hormones, serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, these hormones make you very happy. That hormones are activated only when you're eating well and when you're being active. If you're sluggish, just watching TV and doing this and that, automatically there is some the mental health does have an impact. You feel, what is happening, I'm so bored, I don't know what to do. And for few, most of us, like even my parents, they are staying alone now. They're not with, I'm not with them. So because of that, even they feel it's so boring. So then they started gardening, keeping pets and all of those tips. So that makes them feel occupied, and that really made them, there was a drastic change in their health also. So apart from that, being active throughout the day, you can do any hobby. It could be your painting, gardening, listening to music, learning music. I have my neighbor who's about 82. Now she started her Hindustani music. So I'm staying in this community place. So at 82, she used to learn during her younger days. After children were born, she became busy. So at this time, she decided, let me start over my music, and I want to start. And that music teacher was very sweet enough. So once she started, in our entire community, somewhere around 6 to 7 old people have joined the music class, and some have joined the veena class also. I was like, oh my god, I've been postponing to learn music for a long time. After a break, now I really want to learn with them. So yeah, you can do any of your hobbies. Whatever you missed out, you can still start at any age. So that's one thing. Also, eating a dark chocolate. I am not talking about dairy milk and all of those stuffs. A dark chocolate which has more than 75% cocoa, it definitely impacts your mood. It makes your mood feel better. So whenever you, even if you have sweet cravings, either have dates or dark chocolate. Okay, so you can meditate. Exposing to sun is very important. Sometimes people who are staying in Delhi or Bangalore, no, we have extreme weather. Sometimes it's way too sunny, sometimes it's way too cold. Whenever there is sun, please go out and enjoy some sun. Apart from that, you can have pets. Pets always keep us full, and yeah. So apart from that, getting enough sleep, that's what happens to most of us. As in we start aging, sleeping is becoming difficult. So whenever you feel sleepy after eating a meal, walk for 10-20 minutes. And it's, if you feel sleepy, please sleep in the afternoon. Afternoon naps, taking naps in between has no impact on your health. It in fact improves your health. All you have to do is don't sleep immediately after a meal, walk and then sleep. That definitely has good impact on your health. But if you're not sleeping enough, no. So for some people, sleeping earlier, like at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, so that they wake up by 1 o'clock, it's fine. That's fine. You do that. But whenever you're feeling sleepy, please go ahead and sleep. Because heart issues and strokes, all of these things will be drastically reduced, because the risk of one is that weight gain also happens if you don't get enough sleep. There's a lot of this stress hormone called cortisol that will increase. So because of that, there's weight gain. You will feel a lot of joint pain, body pain, all of this because of lack of sleep or lack of water. So make sure you drink enough water. Some people don't drink enough water because they'll have to keep going to the bathroom often. Please don't do that. Water is like very vital. It's very important to have water, because if you have enough food also, if you don't drink enough water, all the waste products and toxins are not being able to flush out. So that also causes more health issues. Only the water can remove. So even drinking juice and all is not going to remove, or buttermilk is not going to remove. Have at least 2 to 2.5 liter water a day. Okay, so let's start with the question and answers and discussion, because I have briefly covered most of the aspects. Only when I start talking to you, I will know what are the things I need to, you know, talk about.
There is one question from Mr. C.V. Shastri, Deepika. He
Okay.
asks, I have lost 10 kgs of weight in 12 months. What could be the cause? Can you please answer him?
Yes, sure. So, one could be because you're not eating enough. So since whatever you said, it seems to be unintentional weight loss, right? So that could be one reason you're not eating enough nutrients, or you're losing a lot of muscle. If you're not eating enough protein, you're losing a lot of muscle. But whatever you said, no, 10 to 12 kgs a year, is that right?
Yes, yes. 12
That
months.
is absolutely healthy. That shouldn't be really a problem. Old age does impact weight loss, so that could still be healthy. But if you feel your health is deteriorating, please check. You might have maybe thyroid issue or blood sugar issues might be a reason. But I think it's a good 10 to 12 kgs in a year is still healthy and good.
You can unmute yourself and ask your questions.
Can I?
One second, please.
Yes.
1 second. No, I have not completed, please.
Okay, Mr. Shastri, that was your question. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. See, my blood sugar is okay, BP is okay. I don't have any problem. And specifically, I want to mention here, I am associated with NMT for the past 7 years. Particularly, so the physical exercises, mental exercise is going on well since last year. Of course, because of the pandemic, our social activities have gone down. It is a direct impact. Otherwise, we used to have some social activities also. And there was no any intention of reducing my weight. It has gone down. And of course, because I have crossed the 80, the food intake by itself, again, no intervention, it has gone down also. When I just, whatever you have covered about the nutrition, various taking fruits and not, if not 100%, at least to a large extent, I and my wife, we are following it. So some people ask me, you please give me the secret of how you have lost. We are trying to lose the weight. I said, I have to give, I don't know myself. If you are very this one, then I have to go for intellectual rights sharing and all that. That's apart from the jokes. So what could be the reason still? Reasonably okay, I'm not very strong, but I can manage myself and walk also, etc., etc. Of course, I had a problem about the constipation that I was switched on to the Ayurveda, and I'm managing well. So I thought probably there could be some solution. If it is okay, if it is 6 now, once I am now 62 kgs. I was 72 kgs. Unfortunately, the day the lockdown started, somewhere in the March, that time I was weighing 72 kgs. It is something I am not able to. So I thought I will share it with you, my doubt.
So from nutrition perspective, I think it is because of not eating enough proteins. Because what happens is we tend to make this dal or sambar very watery, right? And that happens just 2 times. So example, you have mentioned you were 72 kgs. At that age, you still require 72 to 80 grams of protein. So definitely, until you're intentionally following a good well-balanced diet, the protein is way too less. Even 1 cup of thin sambar will hardly give 4 grams of protein. We need 20 grams of protein in each meal, 15 to 20 grams. So protein intake might have gone down, which would have created muscle loss. So muscle loss happens over the age. Rapid muscle loss happens. With protein less diet, it could have been accelerated more. Maybe you just lost a good amount of muscles. That could be the reason.
Mostly we, particularly, I'm a vegetarian. Most of the things are South Indian. A few, of course, North Indian style as we learn and all adapt. So particularly like sambar, or in Kannada we'll say tove, or some other things with the dal, and also the side dishes like curries and all that. So I don't think that we have reduced it intentionally, but it might have happened also. It's not possible to keep in a very close watch and see which it's not possible. So that's why that's what I was wondering. And you see, and even by this one also, the waist size and everything, 3.5 inches has gone down waist. So that's and so etc. etc. The change in the clothes and all that. And I don't want to elaborate in obvious things. So I thought if you could help me in guiding, probably
So what happens is most of the Indian diet is lack in protein. That's the biggest problem, and especially with vegetarian, it is even more lower. So what you can do is there's a set of protein-rich food. So probably I can share those things with Saryu ma'am. So she can share it with you. So make sure that you include 1 cup of those in every meal. So that will give at least the basic thing. I can't promise it's going to be a little difficult to fulfill so much protein. But basic protein, you will see that you're not going to lose even more weight or muscles further.
Like our dal and all that we have to increase.
Yes, see, 1 cup of thick dal only is going to give 7 grams. In a meal, we require 15 to 20 grams. So that 7 grams is sorted. Another 1 cup of curd, then only we will have that balance for that meal.
Curd, both the times I take. There's no, and I love it also. There's no problem.
Yeah, but the curd should be again little more thicker. So the whole balance, 1 cup of curd with 1 cup of dal, then a good amount of vegetables, then it will be perfect. But we can't have the same 1 cup of dal or vegetables in a thing. So I'll give other protein options which you can try it out.
Thank you very much.
So related to Sir's question, I wanted to find out, is diabetics a problem for weight loss also at a certain age? Let's say 65 plus, and then people have lost weight after that. So diabetics does play a role in weight loss?
Very much. Either it's going to be rapid weight gain or rapid weight loss. But with 10 to 12 kgs in a year, that is not rapid. You will see 5 to 6 kgs of weight loss happening, or 5 to 6 kgs of weight gain happening in a couple of months or even a month's time, or 45 days time. That is what we call it rapid. But it's always best to keep sugar levels in check, because even at 26 even I keep my sugar levels in check because of pollution, stress and everything. We don't know when we are going to have imbalanced sugars, right? So
okay, anybody else would like to ask a question?
Yeah, I would like to ask. My name is Padma.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I know. What if you have arthritis? Like, especially the dal, that urad dal and all that has a lot of impact on the joints. So what do you do when you have arthritis? The dal part of it, you're saying about proteins. So how do we have more proteins that time?
The arthritis, there is 2 things. You probably arthritis with uric acid, more and more concentration of uric acid will impact on the joint pain. Like if you have high amount of uric acid in your thing, then consuming dal is going to have an impact.
Very good.
Excuse me. Hello. What did you say? I could not follow it. Hello.
So having a high level of uric acid with arthritis will have an impact if you consume dal, but dal alone well soaked for like half an hour, soak it really well, discard the water. We always say don't use the same water what you have soaked for half an hour. Wash it well for 3-4 times, discard the water and then use the dal. Usually we do not give a limitation for dal with arthritis. In fact, we ask you to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, so that has a good changes. Like you will see lesser pain with all of those, like pomegranate. Whenever there is berries, you can have berries. This mulberry and all is locally available. It's an Indian berry, so you can have those. Even jamun, when there is in season, jamun also has a good impact on your arthritis.
The water that you throw out doesn't have nutrients?
It does have nutrients, but let me say, dal, whatever you eat, dal is only for protein. Because it's processed, right? Dal is split and processed. So because of that, the nutrients are already lost in processing. So you don't really get any nutrients from dals except the protein, the carbs, and the fiber, which will not be lost with cooking.
I think we were
Okay.
always taught that the soaked dal, we shouldn't waste it. We have to cook it and eat it. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
No,
that's
So
what.
we've been following the same pattern.
This is when you have arthritis or uric acid, we ask you, like, if someone has bloating because of dal, no, then we ask you to remove the excess water and then use the new water. But for absolutely healthy person, young adults, we don't ask you to remove the water.
Okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, a small question.
Yes, sir. Mr. Rangavittan, please go
Am
ahead
I
with your
audible?
question. Yes.
I have a persistent itching problem, and I don't know how to. I have been struggling with it for several years. I don't know. I have been taking some medicine medication. I don't know whether it has got some side effects. I'm having levy pill because I had a seizure some time back. I have some comorbidity issues also. So I'm worried. What could be the reason for this persistent itching? Could you help me to?
I am not sure with the itching part from nutrition
His whole body,
perspective.
right from the head up to the toes. Actually, even in nights, it disturbs my sleep. So I was a bit. I've been taking something like this. What you call that?
I think, like you said, sir, it must be side effects of the medicine you're taking.
Lotion, liquid paraffin. I have been using it for solving these issues. I don't. Can you help me? Should I avoid any food items?
We
I have
won't
not.
know which particular food, but what you can do is ask your physician to give a food allergy test written. So what they do is they test few foods and see if you have got any allergy or intolerance, and then you will know out of report if you have to avoid any foods. But itching or thing is usually very unusual. It might be side effects for something, some other medication, or not really sure.
Coconut oil can be used for relieving the itching sensation.
Yes, it is again personalized. For few people, it causes more itching, or for few people, you might not see a difference. So, liquid paraffin, if it is an external use, then even coconut oil does have an impact.
What about bananas? Can I take it in the cold season also? Bananas juice.
Yeah, banana
with apple.
Bananas is not going to cause any cold or something. In fact, no, like except the ice cream or the foods in the fridge, no food will cause cold or heat. There is a myth.
Lemon juice also will not.
It will not cause. If you have cold, it means that there is some virus or bacteria in your body. So it is fighting against it. After drinking lemon juice or orange, if you have cold, it means that there was some bacteria or virus, and this food is helping to fight against it.
What about walnuts, badam, and other cashew nuts and all that? Can we take? At this age, I'm 85 now.
Cashew nuts is still a healthy fat, but what happens is after a certain age, the body is not able to digest so much fat. Because of that, we restrict cashew nuts and walnuts also.
Oh, I see. So walnuts also I can take.
You can take, but to a certain extent. But cashew nut, it has more amount of PUFA, which the liver and the bile cannot digest after a certain age.
What
so
about
we don't get
figs also I can take? Figs and date syrup.
Date syrup, instead you take dates. Whatever you feel suits you best, you can take all natural foods. Actually, it's not going to have an impact.
Figs also I can take, isn't it?
Yeah, fresh figs or dried figs which is not sweetened.
Oh, because I had a feeling that my stomach is upset due to the intake of all this, and that has caused the itching and all that. So I was a bit worried about that.
So whenever you have nuts, please soak it overnight and then have the nuts. Never have fresh nuts, especially almonds. Always soak it overnight.
So I was a bit worried because I'm taking some other medicines like Losar and other things for I had a stent implant also. So I am taking Levipil 500 twice a day. So I don't know whether this has got some side effects and that causes this kind of persistent itching. So I thought
That we will have to talk to the physician. I'm a nutritionist. I'm not the person for.
I see. Okay.
Shall I ask?
Thank you so much.
Can I
Thank
ask?
you. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I am Basanta Rangamani. I just want to know whether intermittent fasting, is it good to improve the gut health? Nowadays, people are all following intermittent fasting.
Ma'am, your age?
I am 74.
I would that has to go hand in hand with the physician, whoever is talking to you for a longer time, and a nutritionist, because we need to know how your blood sugar level is. If you are fasting for a longer time, there could be a very low blood sugar that will cause more issues. So we will have to always go hand in hand with a physician and a dietitian. So first, consult your physician. You need to know how your blood sugar level has been the last 3 months. You will have to take fasting blood sugar, postprandial, HbA1c. So all these parameters, after seeing all these parameters, we will know whether intermittent fasting works out for you or not. It's personalized. Every diet has cons and pros and cons, but we need to find, is that the right fit for us or not?
Okay. And what about apple cider vinegar? Many people are taking for gut health. Is it really helping?
No, ma'am. Actually, that's all, it impacts a little bit on your weight loss. Apart from that, it really, there's no one single food that will actually improve anything. So, especially for gut health, it's a very simple formula. No processed food at all. All you need is curd, onions, everything what is already in your pantry. You're supposed to be eating in a raw form. Whatever is possible to eat in a raw form, like carrot or tomato, onions, that is more than enough to improve the gut health. And only these fancy things like kombucha and all, that does have an impact. But if you're eating curd every day, I wouldn't ask any other fancy things. Just curd is more than enough.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
You
madam.
mean to say, I have a question. You mean to say we cannot have any supplement to keep your gut healthy?
A supplement for gut, it does have probiotics. Like they have supplements called probiotics, but it's way too expensive. When we can afford a simple thing in our kitchen, which is almost cost-free, right? So a supplementation is going to be unnecessary, I would say. But you can still take a supplementation if needed. But again, always a nutritionist or a physician has to be giving that a particular brand or something.
No, you were saying that vitamin
which come in market, like example Yakult, it is useless. So if someone is taking Yakult, it's just waste of money. It's really not going to give any impact on your gut. So that's why someone should be giving a brand or something, physician.
Okay, thank you. Deepika, there is a question from one Mrs. Gayatri from JP Nagar. She says, while thanking you for the wonderful session you shared, I wanted to ask you, please elaborate what are the foods that will keep our bacteria happy?
So I just came back to, let me share the screen again. So, I told here, this prebiotics and probiotics. So I can share this, like probably we can share this, however, these slides, I'll share it with you. So dates, onions, oats, all of these food, it will keep the bacteria happy, and this bacteria is going to keep you happy. Apart from that, there are foods that gives a serotonin boost. That is also, most of these foods are interrelated to this only. Like example, garlic again, apple, dates, dark chocolate I mentioned in the other place, right?
Yes.
This dark chocolate, more than 75% cocoa. The more the cocoa, the more is your serotonin that will keep you healthy.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question, ma'am.
Yeah.
Your voice is breaking. Can we move on to the next question? Anybody has another question?
Actually, the
I think, ma'am, your voice is breaking, Mrs. Gayatri.
Oh,
Maybe you can add something in the chat box, a reply to that perhaps. We can move on to the next question. If anybody has a question, please go ahead.
Can I intervene again?
Yes.
I got a super sensitivity in the soles of my feet due for the changes in the temperature and the climatic conditions. How do you account for this? And also a little tremor in my fingers and something like some pain in the fingers and all that.
A kind of a
happening.
pricking pain, you mean?
Yes.
A kind of a pricking pain. Okay.
Yes. Pricking pain.
This could be because you might have a zinc or a magnesium deficiency. Always still consult your physician. And from nutrition perspective, pricking in fingers, sensitivity in your sole is a micronutrient deficiency. So having a good amount of nuts in a day, like probably about 10 soaked almonds, some peanuts into your diet, like a peanut chutney. That way, every day you include one amount of nuts and fruit, any seasonal fruit.
Pudina chutney also. Pudina chutney. Pudina.
Not pudina chutney, nuts chutney, like peanut chutney, or using walnuts, almonds in a day will make sure you're away from this deficiency, your zinc and magnesium deficiency. And drinking milk is also important if you're not lactose intolerant.
Pudina and coriander chutneys will also help.
No. Only peanut chutney. You get zinc and magnesium with only nuts and milk.
I see.
Or non-veg. So
non-veg, I'm a vegetarian. Being a vegetarian,
so if you're a vegetarian, milk, nuts every day will have an impact, but you will have to consult your physician also again once for this.
Thank you so much.
There's one question from Annapaya from Kundapur. He asks, when consuming egg, am I to discard the yolk because of cholesterol issues?
So one whole egg will not cause any. Cholesterol in egg does not have an impact on your blood cholesterol level. So we always say one whole egg, please consume, no matter how much cholesterol is, what age you have. If you can digest one whole egg, the remaining eggs can be coming from egg white.
Anybody else would like to ask her a question?
Yeah, I have one more question. Do the vitamins and you were saying that vitamins don't help. Do they have side effects if you take supplements?
Yes, ma'am, it does have side effect, because what happens is our liver will have too much stress because of these supplements. So that's the reason we say you are supposed to be drinking a good amount of water. So we tell, if you're taking a multivitamin supplement, take only for 2 to 3 months. If you're taking for 2 months, give a detox. Do not take supplements for another 2 months. That way you do. And whenever you're on supplements, make sure you're eating enough protein, because if protein is not there, whatever supplements we are popping, the body is not absorbing. The factory is there, consumer is there, the transport is not there. So it's directly going to the liver. The liver is having too much stress handling these supplement, because it's made up of too much chemicals. That has an impact on your liver also. So drink a good amount of water to flush out the toxins because of the supplement, and protein is also important.
Then what about vitamin D? We've been asked to take by the doctors, no?
Yes, vitamin D, what happens is most of us are vitamin D deficient because of so many reasons. Either we are not exposed to sun, even if we are fair skinned also, there is still a lot of melanin in our skin pigmentation. Because of that, even my baby is on vitamin D supplementation even I am on, even adults are. But vitamin D have done a thorough research till now. Toxicity is quite less until you overdose, and usually doctors will never give you an overdose with vitamin D, so that should be absolutely safe.
Sunlight is sunlight. Walking in sunlight is also good for vitamin D.
Natural vitamin D.
Natural vitamin, but because of the skin factors and all, no, the body is not able to absorb. But still, we always ask you to still go to sun because it makes you happy. It gives you other happy hormones. So do the vitamin supplementation, do the sun exposure also.
There's one question from Mr. Kurshid. He says, he's asking, how do I reduce weight? He is 64 years old and weighs about 94 kilos. He has a spinal nerve compression, cannot walk long distance, and he has burning sensation in the feet. He wishes to know, how do I reduce the weight?
So here you will have to work closely with the nutritionist and do a calorie deficit where your nutrition is not being impacted. So we'll have to work with the nutritionist. And also what you can do is, you cannot walk long distance, but you can be active throughout the day. After eating, walk as much as possible inside the house, or go to your terrace, or go to a neighborhood place, walk well and come. Walking is very important if you can't do any other exercise, but calorie deficit is the only solution. So work with the nutritionist, get onto a good amount of a well-balanced diet which does not have an impact on your health, and fulfills you. It will help you to lose weight also.
Can we consult you? Is there any way that we can consult you anytime?
Yes, you can, definitely. Please, Deepika, you can share your number on the screen.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So meanwhile, there is a commonly asked questions from elders. They say after a certain age, certain foods lead to acidity. So how to avoid it?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Yes, there are many elders who ask this question. So how to avoid acidity is a very common factor. Is it drinking lots of water the solution, or so avoiding certain foods, or the timing of the foods? What is the cause?
Cause is because timing is the biggest cause, because out of other work or something is in our mind, we don't feel like eating, we are so moody. That's one thing. And what happens is, it's like all the time our parents in our childhood, they keep forcing us to have food. There's something, when we become independent, we want to use our freedom well, and we don't want to eat. Keeping that aside, drinking a lot of water is not really going to help you with acidity. Timings of the meal, that's the reason I say people who are used to eating only 2 meals a day, who are not hungry also, at least eat something in between, little bit throughout the day, something which is like a fruit or nuts or something when you're not hungry. In between 3 meals and 2 snacks is absolutely healthy.
Go for a dietitian.
Yes, ma'am, you said something.
Number, if you want a good dietitian, I will consult and.
Oh, number. She wanted your number. Maybe you can say it orally or share it in the screen. They can jot it down.
I just messaged over the direct chat.
You did, okay. So she has messaged it in the chat.
Or let me put it here.
I think you put it across, or just say it so that.
Anyone can note my number. My number is 93.
I think if I show this, are you able to see my screen?
No.
This is the one.
No,
We can't see.
We can't see.
Tell
93. I repeat, sir. 93 533 24361. If you see my screen, I've displayed the sheet of paper which has a number. I'll repeat it. 93 533 24361.
This is Deepika.
Deepika Vasudaven, yes.
She's from Bangalore?
Yes.
Yes.
From mine.
Oh.
Any other questions? Oh, I think Deepika, so you were talking about flushing out, drinking a lot of water is one
Yeah.
way.
So acidity could be caused because of spicy food or lot of
Spicy food.
fat in the food, or if you don't too much of carbs, very little protein, very little vegetables into the diet, that also causes
Causes.
acidity. So once you balance out the nutrition, you will see most of your problems, at least related to digestive issues and strength and stamina, can be sorted. Other things I can't give a guarantee. Only diabetes, strength and stamina, something related to gut, we can help with nutrition.
What about tamarind as a food? When you use it in food, that does that cause acidity?
Uh,
Tamarind.
it depends on the concentration. Some of us do a very thick tamarind rasam. It's, of course, even for me at times it makes me feel a little uneasy. So a good concentration is fine. Shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you.
So
Does
there
anybody
is
else
no
has a question? Sorry?
With
so
milk
there
we
is
can
What
take
no
it.
about
particular
kokum?
healthy food.
Kokum also people use, no? Kokum.
Kokum seeds,
Yes,
yes.
Huh?
you can use, but it shouldn't be a kokum syrup with sugar. A normal kokum fruit, you can use it. It's
Oh,
absolutely
not the syrup form.
She
Oh,
said
oh,
the
oh.
dried
not.
variety, the dried kokum. When you some people put in curries and all that. You can cook, I think use it at a moderate level if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Oh.
the fresh fruits also, they make kokum rasam. Simple, just boil it in water and they use it as rasam with the coriander. So those kind is healthy.
Yeah, they say it's good for acidity. That kokum.
Any if you simply have any fruit, definitely your acidity will reduce.
Oh,
Eating a
okay.
orange or a banana, any fruit if you consume, acidity will you will see good changes.
Okay. And what about gastric problem? What is good for gastric problem?
The bloating of the stomach, the gastric
Not
problem.
bloating.
Okay.
Only the
Only
gas.
gas.
Gas. See, gas is absolutely healthy. It's like when your diet is too much in, having vegetables. No, gas is absolutely healthy. Farting is very healthy. You shouldn't feel
Oh.
shy. Okay, so that is not at all a problem. It shows that your gut is working. You're able to digest. You're able to put out the toxins through air and things. So do not worry. That gas is not at all a problem here.
But in between, I had too much that from oral also, also through my mouth also I was giving.
So
That is
it's a burp.
birching. Birching.
Yes,
Maybe.
burping, yes.
Burping, sorry, burping.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that again, no, there is no one food like drinking a jeera water and all is just a
Yeah.
small. It's a temporary fix. It's not going to be
Yeah.
a solution until you follow good well-balanced diet. That's what happens, because in media, WhatsApp, no, they say you drink jeera water 3 times a day, you will get rid of this. You have soaked raisins, you will get rid of diabetes. Not at all. There's no one singular food which will change your health. It should be every mouth of food what you take has impact on your health.
I think
So
ma'am's question was
Very true.
why is she getting the gas out? Why is she burping often? I think that was her question.
Yeah.
okay.
Now
Why?
I am all right.
Yeah. Okay.
But I had that problem. Yeah.
In
Now I am
between,
fine.
if you have had antibiotics or something, or in between, if the health was not good, some bacteria would have died. So you will not digest certain amount of food.
Okay.
Example,
Okay.
for some time, during pregnancy, suddenly you will have an aversion to certain food, because at that time, because of puking and all that, you have removed some bacteria. After eating those foods again, or after some days, the bacteria will just come back to you. It's like a wife who fighted and came back. That's it. So that's just a phase.
In my case, I stopped coffee. The first thing in the morning, I became all right. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah, so morning little bit of changes. So you're taking some water or something at that place.
Yeah. Instead of taking coffee, I just shifted to light tea little bit. Then I had a market. Yeah, it was working good for me. But now
Yeah,
I have resumed to coffee. Nothing, no problem.
In my case, I have been asked to take less water because I had a sodium deficiency problem. So I have been taking this water. After the 6 o'clock, I don't take water. I restrict my consumption of water due to that sodium deficiency because I used to get dizziness so because of the sodium deficiency. So I'm
yeah.
restricting
So
my.
that we will have to in that case we have to restrict water there according to the physician's thing, because too much water will it causes toxicity instead of helping the body. So
Yes, that's right.
And I think you mentioned no eating a sweet won't matter if you take good amount of protein, even for diabetic people. Am I right?
Excellent
Or
question.
did I understand? I didn't. Am I right?
Very
You
good
were
question.
mentioning, no?
yeah, so that's right. But you will have to be consistent with all the meals. Example, if you eat one jalebi with just a non-veg meal, I'm giving an example. There is one cup of chicken and there is one jalebi and little bit of rice and vegetables. Eating that one jalebi has no impact on your blood sugar level because the protein, the vegetables is balancing out your sugar level. But at the same time, if you're only eating a little bit of 1 spoon of vegetables and so much rice or chapati, protein in case of protein, there's hardly any protein. So that way, if you eat a jalebi with that meal, definitely your blood sugar will spike and it will drop down.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean, it's a good question. Same thing I wanted to ask. Can one small sweet, a bit of sweet, be taken after every meal?
No, that's what. So I'm just saying a scenario that this protein is going to help you doesn't mean you take in every meal. Preferably do not take because it
How frequently can I have a sweet? A burfi or something, how frequently can I have?
So if you're craving for sweets, first of all,
Can I have one every day?
Now, sir, I'm craving for sweets now. You're talking about sweets. But that's a good question.
One doctor
But
told me
I
you can.
know, to be frank, I know one
One
relative.
doctor
He
told
is
me
a
that you can have only
diabetic.
one sweet a month.
Oh, sorry.
It was very depressing.
So
One
first
sweet
of
a
all,
month.
That's sad. Yeah, really depressing.
But
that's very sad, no? So I'm so fond of sweets, and everybody around me is eating sweets.
Yeah.
So how can I avoid eating sweets?
So
one of the good things in life.
Whenever you crave for sweets, try to eat dates. Go for that black dates, not the brown version of it. Black dates, which is little softer.
When there's a craving, can I have a chocolate every time? Dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate, more than 75% of cocoa. So that will be pretty bitter and that's not going to help you to satisfy your cravings.
Some of these 70% advertised dark chocolates are sweet enough.
More than 75% cocoa. So the Amul bar you get, right, bittersweet and all, that is not a dark chocolate. It is just a scam there. So you will have to see in ingredients how much cocoa is there in it. Not the front label. Turn back and read the label. In the ingredients list, you will have to see how much percentage of cocoa they have to mention it properly.
I have some delicious Swiss chocolate with me. It says 70%.
70% is still less. 30% of sugar is too much, no?
Oh, 70 or 75, does it make a difference? Okay.
5%
then can you suggest a brand or where we can get that?
Okay. So usually Lindt, Lindt.
Yes.
Lindt, you have lot of versions. So you have 75%, you have 90% cocoa. So those things are there. And also, you can always have dates. I would say dates is better to control your blood sugar level than having a dark chocolate. Of course, every time you crave, you can't only have dark chocolate, right? So try those black dates. That helps in controlling your blood sugar level. And when there is a season for
Okay.
jamun, have jamun. Not the sweet jamun, the fruit jamun, the purple one.
Okay, thank you. And uh, on another track, one question was, my wife has started gargling with cold pressed coconut oil. Is there any benefit in that?
Instead of gargling, drinking it is little more better.
Ah,
because
that's what I am telling her. But she's gargling with cold pressed. It's such an expensive thing. Cold pressed coconut oil for gargling and spitting.
So there's something called this oil cleaning is what they call, but scientifically it's not proven. So that's the reason I'm not talking about it. But drinking 1 teaspoon of cold pressed coconut oil has good impact on your entire
And for gargling, it is enough to use ordinary coconut oil or groundnut oil or sesame oil or something.
Gingerly oil pulling.
What happens is the normal oil will give too much greasiness into the mouth.
For that it can be any oil. It doesn't have to be any fancy oil.
No, scientifically nothing is proven about gargling or oil cleansing. Because of that, I do not have that much knowledge on that either. Since I'm not sure which fancy oil or not, but I don't know about that.
I think off late it's become a fad that if you do it, it's good. I think it's basically what you feel is right. You just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, they will chew one clove and they do gargling and all of that stuff.
Yes.
It used to come an ad also at one point when I was small, but it's not scientifically proven.
It's not proven. Yes. Anybody else has a question?
The questions asked by others, all of them, many of them were very useful personally. Thank you very much, Deepika.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And you spoke so well.
Is there anybody else who wishes to ask one last question? I think that's it. So we'll wind
Deepika,
up.
can we really call you up on this phone number?
Yes, you can call me.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Better if you WhatsApp prior, because I have a small baby, so sometimes I'm unavailable to pick the calls if she's sleeping or around. So, so if you
what
WhatsApp
time would be
me,
best?
No, if you WhatsApp me, we can schedule and call at that time.
Or WhatsApp and chat also.
Yeah, that's perfect. That I can do most of the time.
That's very good. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Deepika. And thanks to all.
Message me if you've got doubts and all of that. I will be really happy to clear out the doubts. But I cannot give a diet plan until I really know you well. So usually I say, I need more than a month to know a person well and actually give them a supplementation also. I try to completely avoid supplementation, but if needed and all of those things, I will have to take more time. So just
really convinced us about the importance of a balanced diet.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to everyone who spent this evening, listened to such a wonderful webinar. And Deepika, thank you so much on behalf of Nightingales Medical Trust and NISD. Good evening to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.